Good day. My name is Joseleanor Magno-Mendoza, and I'm currently affiliated with the Department of Communications, Linguistics, and Literature of the University of San Carlos, Cebu. I have been teaching English language, communication, applied linguistics, and research courses for undergraduate and graduate programs. My research interests include disaster communication, interlanguage, critical discourse analysis, and sociolinguistics. Today, I will be sharing a paper entitled Examining Local Knowledge on Tuob in Online Discourse. My interest in the said traditional health practice started during the pandemic when we were facing a virus that has no known cure and we had to find ways to survive. Although professionals warned against its usage, many still turn to traditional medicine such as Tuob. Thus, I wanted to know and make sense of the public's perception in using this health practice as a treatment for COVID 19. The present paper investigates the online discourse on Tuob as a traditional home remedy and examines how this practice contributed in their way of thinking, particularly as a preventive or curative measure during the first quarter of COVID 19 in the Philippines. Tuob, or steam inhalation, is one of the many medical systems identified in Cebu, Philippines as early as 1976. The Cebuano term tuob, sometimes spelled with a hyphen, and known as suob in Tagalog regions, is done by placing a blanket over the head and putting one's face directly above a container with hot water infused with herbal leaves, lemon, or essential oil and inhaling the steam. It is known to help in decongestion and provides relief when a person has common colds or coughs. Tuob is also considered a steam bath or body fumigation. Rabago Visayas pointed out that the practice of tuob is part of our local and indigenous awareness of the understandings, skills, and philosophies established by communities with a long history of contact with their natural environment. As a traditional home remedy practice, tuob is a known method for alleviating cold symptoms. However, its function to treat such symptoms has been questionable since only few studies support this method. Thus, we ask the question, is tuob a remedy or cure for COVID 19? The practice of tuob is to prevent or cure COVID 19 gained attention on June 2020 when Cebu provincial government released a memo encouraging their government employees to practice tuob twice a day in their workstation. This news made headlines and prompted the medical organizations such as the World Health Organization Philippines and the Department of Health Philippines to respond and emphasize that tuob is not recommended as a treatment for preventing the virus. So there are related studies that look into traditional medical practice. This related literature discussed in this section illustrates empirical studies and narratives on traditional healing practices. However, as far as I'm concerned, and despite extensive search efforts, no studies have been conducted on the accumulated reports and present narratives surrounding the practice of tuob in relation to COVID 19. It is the goal of this study to offer a better understanding of the practice of tuob based on the data gathered from the online discourse. So, as mentioned, the present study looked into how the practice of tuob is viewed in the current context and what the online netizens or netizens' perspectives and narratives are in supporting or undermining the practice of Tuob as a preventive or curative measure against COVID-19. Utilizing content analysis, 52,200 publicly available comments as responses to the official Facebook post on Tuob of DOH Philippines and World Health Organization Philippines last June 25, 2020 and August 26, 2020 were examined. The DOH Philippines Facebook page has 8.4 million followers, while the World Health Organization Philippines Facebook page has 1.7 million followers. After posting their infographics, which directly address and briefly explain Tuob in relation to COVID-19, DOH received 47,000 comments, while the World Health Organization Philippines received 5.6. These comments served as the unit of analysis. So this is the infographic posted by the Department of Health Philippines to address the growing concern on the use of Tuob. While this infographic from the World Health Organization Philippines clarifies the use of Tuob as a cure. So there are 3 findings indicated in the study. So the first one is that the practice of Tuob is accessible and affordable in getting relief and comfort. The practice of Tuob has been practiced by family, friends, and ancestors for years, and it has been proven effective based on personal and friends' experiences and testimonies. These findings contradict the statements of Crisol and Oledan, who observed that the new inventions in medicine brought about by modernity causes people to rely more on professional medical practitioners who use science or modern medicine to cure diseases. However, the results reveal a similar instance in the findings of Rondelia et al., where satisfaction from prior experience, distrust in the current healthcare system, upkeeping of and belief in family tradition, and intention to supplement existing Western medicine treatment are possible reasons in the practice of the said local health medicine. So these are some of the examples of comments taken from the said Facebook posts. The photos and the names of the authors are covered to ensure the protection of their privacy. These are also some examples of their experiences, and this one indicates the procedure in doing or practicing Tuob. The second set of findings indicate that the practice of Tuob needs more empirical data, clinical trials, and medical studies to be considered safe and effective. It has not been endorsed by health organizations because it lacks scientific evidence as a proven treatment of COVID-19. And although it was not supported by the medical organizations, it was not discredited as a home remedy. So these are some examples of comments that question the practice of Tuob in relation to COVID-19 and support science-based results. The third finding indicates the criticisms against health officials, organizations, and medical professionals for discrediting and discouraging the use of Tuob in relation to COVID-19 and for allegedly collaborating with pharmaceutical and business sectors to earn profit. These are some comments that question health experts. So many believe that the practice of Tuob is beneficial and effective due to satisfaction from prior experience, as well as shared experiences from close affinities and friends. Upon closer inspection, the health organizations have not discredited the use of Tuob as a home remedy or a local health practice. Rather, they are emphasizing that Tuob is not a cure, remedy, or preventive measure against the virus, and its usage could have adverse effects. Trust issues among health professionals and medical organizations due to inconsistent data, previous experiences, and credibility of health officials prompted criticisms against their stand in the use of Tuob. So Tuob is an effective traditional home remedy that is part of Filipino culture and health practice. And despite medical experts' claim that it is not a cure or preventive measure against COVID 19, one's local knowledge on Tuob can encourage or influence in testing its efficacy against the virus. The shared experiences visible in the online discourse on Tuob illustrate people's beliefs and communal practices. Information is reinforced if credibility and trust in an organization is evident. So the belief that the practice of Tuob or steam inhalation has a healing property against COVID 19 poses a challenge to medical professionals, and the persistence of such mindset and the distrust in health organization could be particularly problematic. Precise information is reinforced if credibility and trust in an organization is evident and it was apparent that the inconsistencies in data and information shared to the public, previous experiences with local healthcare and medical professionals, credibility of health professionals, poor healthcare facilities and equipment, as well as overly expensive medicines and treatment, contributed in some people's decision to turn to alternative treatments despite several forewarnings from the Department of Health and local medical societies. As recommendations, more empirical research studies on the practice of Tuob and its efficacy are highly recommended to achieve convergence between modern science or scientific understanding and local health practices that contribute to sound decision making for one's overall well being. The use of other research methods, such as the phenomenological study on the lived experiences of those who practice Tuob, could offer more in-depth data analysis. Also, frameworks such as the social trust approach and the social constructionist approach should further be explored in the context of the present study to establish the relationship between the public and the medical organization. Further, health professionals and medical organizations, as well as the local government units, should look into online discourse on health-related topics and local knowledge to gain insights and perspectives from the grassroots level. So these are the references used in the study. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to receiving your comments and recommendations for the improvement of this paper. Have a great day.